Welcome back. Now what we need to do is that we need to display real statistics here. So here, as you can see, we have here the number of users, the number of products, the number of sold items, and here these numbers are not true numbers. These are static numbers, and we need to get the real numbers. So how can we get the real numbers? To get the real numbers, we need to use SQL to get the real number of employees. For example, here the number of users or number of employees. Similarly, we need to get the number of products and the number of sold items, the number of sales. And here we can get something else such as the total number of sales, something like this. So let's work on this. To work on this, we need to create a new file here. Let me create a new file. Here I'm going to create a new file called get_stats.php, and then I'm going to create here a PHP file, and then we need to use a query that we already used. Remember in the pagination, if you open one of the files such as the get products, we have this query and we can use this query. Let me get this query. And let me paste it here. But before I do so, we need to say include connection.php, and then we need to use this query. So we need to say here statement. Let me say statement 1 because we will need to make many queries, or 3 or 4. So here I'm going to say statement 1 con prepare select count as total from products. So this is going to return the total number of products, and then we can store this exactly like this. So we can get this code as well. We can get this code and then we can store it. We can use it here, and this is going to get the total number of products. And we can do the same with the users. We can here say select account all as total users from employee, and then here total users. And here I'm going to say statement 2, and then statement 2, and statement 2, and statement 2, and here statement 2. We can do the same with the sales. We can say here select count all as total sales from sales, and then here I'm going to say statement 3, and then 3, and here I'm going to say total sales. And lastly, we can get the total number of the sales, the amount of money that here. Let me show you this. The number of the total amount that the total amount of money. So for example, here we have this employee who sold total of 5 plus 800. So we can add these together, and to add these we can create here a new query. We can copy this, and then we can paste it here, and then we can say select sum all as total, let's say money from sales, but we don't want to say sum all. We want to sum the total. Therefore we need to say sum total. So we want to sum the total, not the all. We need to sum the total as total money from sales, and then we need to say here obviously 4 and here we need to say total money. or you can even say total. Here it was total, let's say total money. So here total money and here total money. And here if we get the total number of sales, this doesn't actually return the total number of sales, because here it's just going to return 2. So we need to get the sum. So instead of getting the count, we can get the total quantities sold. So for example, here you can say select sum, and then quantity as total quantity from sales. And then here you can say total, let's say quantity. So this is going to return the total items sold. And here this is going to return the total money, the sales in dollars. I think this is meaningful now. And lastly, we need to store these in variables. Remember here in get products, we stored that in total. And lastly, we can use these variables. So these variables are total products, total users, total quantity, and total money. So in the index, we only have this panel exists only in the index. So in the index.php, I'm gonna include this get stats. So above this area, I'm gonna say here PHP and then include, and then what we want to include is that we want to include the get stats.php, and then we just need to display these numbers. So here I'm gonna say PHP, and then echo, and what we want to echo is that we want to echo the total users here, total underscore users. And it's better, by the way, to check whether it's empty or not. So you can here say if total users is not null, then echo this, because you wouldn't want to display error messages. You can do the same here in the products. I'm gonna do the same, and then I'm gonna say here total products, and here total products, and here we have sold, so the quantities that the items that have been sold. So here total quantity, and here total quantity. And lastly here not the users, the last one is gonna be the money. So here you can say revenue or profit. Let's say profit. So here total money, and here I'm gonna say total money. Let me now head on over to the browser and let me refresh. And as you can see, I'm gonna get real numbers. Here I'm gonna get five users. We have 5 users. Is this correct? Yes, this is obviously correct. If you go to the employee, you'll find that we have 5 employees. So this is correct. If you here check the number of products, we have 11 products. You can verify this if you go to the product table. You'll find that we have exactly 11 products. We have here, if you count this, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, and of course here sold 13. You can check that if you open up the sales table. You'll find that the sales, we have 5 plus 8. 5 plus 8 is obviously 13, so this is correct. Lastly, we have the profit. So here the profit is 775 plus 800, which is 1575. And of course you need to add here the dollar sign. You need to add here the dollar sign. And now let me refresh one more time, and here it's going to display the dollar sign. So it's awesome. It's just awesome. And if you add more employees or more products, this is going to be updated, and you can double check that. And of course it's going to work because you are connected to the database, and it's gonna, whenever you add something new, it's gonna be updated here in this panel.